Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video. It is a meal prep video. We haven't seen a meal prep in quite a while. This meal prep was done over like a month and a half. I've had a couple recipes sitting in my phone. I think I'm missing footage from one of them. But these are fall. They wind up being fall-inspired recipes. There's a chili, there's a soup, and there's a stew. I didn't even plan it. I just thought easy recipes that I was creating from scratch that I would share. And they really are actually very budget friendly. When I went down and thought about it, you could probably make each one of them to feed at least 4 for under $10. So I think that's quite some of them are under $5. I got a few things from the local farm stand, things I have in my pantry and freezer. Really super easy. I have everything on dishwithd.com that'll hook you up for all the measurements, and in case it's hard to follow along, I get that. So I do have everything on dishwithd.com. I hope you enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't seem to like the recipe videos anymore. I've noticed that they're probably one of the lower viewed videos, but I was making them and you guys asked for quick, easy, and we're going to do quick, easy, and budget friendly because we're all on a budget. We all don't have a lot of time. We all don't have a lot of money. So here are 4 easy recipes that you can easily put in the freezer. Actually, the soup that I made, which is the one I don't have the finished video of, like there's that part's missing. The end result, you see this, it all comes together in the pot, but I didn't show you. I don't know what happened to it. It was in the bowl. I don't know. But that part, half of that is in my freezer. So next time when we heat that up, which will probably be soon, you will see it again. And like I said, you can top it any way you want. And that's where all the points come in, is on the toppings of a lot of these. The chili, the soup. So like I said, all of them. I think this soup, off the top of my head, was 0 points. The chili was very low because I used 93% turkey. But if you use the lean turkey, you wouldn't even have to count that. And the stew was, you had to count the chicken sausage. I'm telling you, it was super duper low, high in protein, and really, really delicious. The stew just came out of nowhere, and Steve thought it was really, really good. But you can adjust the ingredients to what you have on hand. So without further ado, let's get to that recipe footage. Enjoy, my lovelies. I've been asked, you want to cook dinner with me? So I am making a quick, I like to call it quick because it doesn't take much, turkey chili. I felt like some chili, had some turkey needed to get used up, so I thought, why not make a chili-ish out of it? I don't have everything I would really like, but sometimes you don't always have everything you really like. So I'm just going to kind of fudge little things, and we have rice left over. I'm thinking maybe making a squash. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get started. Very easy, very minimal ingredients, and I think you might have them all in hand. I just have a little, what do they call this, a chicken fryer, So I'm going to take my 93% lean butterball turkey. Now you could use the 0.1 if you wanted. Honestly, I thought 93% was 0, but apparently it's not. That's all right. Still not a bad option. You could use beef, you could use chicken. It's a little bit frozen, so we're going to put this in here and have it start browning up. We chop our whatever veg I can get out of the refrigerator. Don't want to touch it. Grab a spatula. Get all that turkey out of there. All right, we're gonna get to chopping. It does have an onion. I would say it's more on the smaller side than larger side. I'm just gonna dice it. If you want big chunks, use big chunks. If you want little chunks, use little chunks. You know me. It's your chili. You have to do it your way. These little film things I must have missed. As soon as that's done, we're just gonna dump it in with our chicken, turkey, whatever meat I can remember I have. And we're gonna brown this up along with it. I'm also going to, I would reserve some of this, but I have plenty more onion. And just for the top, because I love a good onion topping to my chili. That's just me. I also have some pickled jalapenos. I'm actually out of peppers, which I would, if I had, I even have those little cute little bell peppers. Yeah, I don't have any of those, so. All right, we're just gonna take this and dump it on top of our turkey. We'll let them all get nice and toasty together. We're gonna grab our spices, and I'm just going to use chili powder, oregano, salt, pepper, poultry seasoning. I do have a chicken bouillon, and I also have some of this from the Dollar Tree, vegetable bouillon. And then we're gonna get that all together. We'll put that in after this browns. Once this browns, we're going to add the spice blend and a little can of tomato sauce. Pretty easy. Let's put our spices together. Now, again, I'm just doing this just because, you know, you can put in the amount of spices that you like. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Again, I'm really just winging this because that's how I always cook. That's why I sometimes don't like to record, because, yeah. Half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Teaspoon of oregano. And again, you could, like I said, you could use the spices and the amounts, you know, to your taste. And we only have a little over a pound of meat here. Salt. And I'm going to adjust the salt, so I'm just going to do a little bit of salt. Cumin. Oh my gosh, cumin is a must. You might not think you like cumin, but let me tell you something. Cumin does come around the back. I'm going to do almost a teaspoon, because it just gives you that smokiness. And you think it's coming from the chili powder, but it's really coming from the cumin. We love cumin. And some freshly ground black pepper. And I could always add more of the pepper and salt. Just wanted to make sure I got it in there. I do want some garlic powder and onion powder, which I did forget to get out. Of course I did. Wouldn't be a video if I didn't forget something. I got the dill weed instead of the onion powder and the garlic. All right, let's put our half a teaspoon of onion, because we do have onions in there. So I have to find my garlic powder. It is amongst the missing. I'll be right back. Found the elusive garlic. And I would put I don't think I have any garlic. So I'm just gonna, I put 2 teaspoons because I don't know, I like garlic. So yeah. Again, I'm gonna put, like I said, some of this vegetable bouillon. Smells pretty nice. Nice teaspoon. We might add more. So we're putting the chicken bouillon cube in there. So I think I got everything. If I missed something, oh well. So as we mix this up, this is our seasoning blend. I am going to add a little bit of water because I'm putting that bouillon in. And a can of tomato sauce. There's your blend. Smells good to me. All right, to my browned meat, I added my bouillon. I'm going to put a cup of water. Warm, of course. A can of tomato sauce, which I will rinse out in a minute. And our spice and seasoning blend. Combine well, and then we'll have a look. All right, look how beautiful that looks. Now to that, I'm going to put in 1 cup of cannellini beans. And we're going to cover this and let this simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes. There we go. It's simmered for about 40 minutes. It is beautiful. Look at that color. Serve it in a bowl. You could serve it over rice. You could top it with some cheese, some onions, some Greek yogurt. Delicious. Here's the finished plated up. I do have, I think, about 2 points of rice, 7 points for the chili. Well, corn is 0, my yogurt is 0, and I have 1 tablespoon of low-fat cheese. So that is how it came out. I think it looks pretty good. Quick dinner, didn't take me long. Can't wait to dig into this. How about another quick and easy dinner? Okay, I'm taking my inspiration from this recipe card that I got in my Taste of Home card. It is called Southwest Chicken Tortilla Soup. Now I'm just using this as a guide to what I want to do, but I'm absolutely going to do a few tweaks. So this is calling for cooked chicken. Now I have raw chicken. Obviously you should cook it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the broth in the pot and I'm going to poach the chicken in it slowly. And then we'll dice the chicken, remove it, dice it, and then add the rest of the ingredients, which doesn't tell us to do that here. But I don't think that's a really bad step, but you could absolutely skip that step and just put your broth in and continue on. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, minimal ingredients. It's just stock, carton stock, like this from the Dollar Tree. Chicken, there's some spices, there's diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, chilies, so all basic stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put, now it only calls for one of these at an 8-ounce can, I think it is. 1 can, 14 ounces. So I'm just going to use 2 of these because I don't have any cans and plus I want a little bit more soup. So again, we're just going to double it. So, and if you are, you know, have less people in the house than I do, this will last you a few days. I'm not sure with my men in here, they like soup, so, especially chicken soup. So I'm not sure how long this will last us, but I'm going to go with 2 of these. One from ShopRite, one from the Dollar Tree. And have at it and poach our chicken. So we just dump our stock. Again, quick time saver. And like I said, you can even do it quicker by having cooked chicken. You can use rotisserie chicken, you know, Purdue cuts all ready to go. Or if you happen to have leftover chicken that you have ready, you could use that too. But since I don't have any of that around, I'm just going to poach my chicken. This will give it a little extra oomph to the broth, and my chicken won't be so tough. Because you know, sometimes chicken gets tough when you cook it in the Instant Pot, or, you know, so I'm just going to, I have a 4-pound pack of chicken. I'm only going to use 2 pounds, so I'm going to use half. And that is all she wrote. I'm just going to plop 2 of the breasts in, like that, and let them come to a nice little simmer. Simmer slow. It'll cook through. I'll remove the chicken, let it cool, shred it, and do the rest of the soup. Simple. All right, our broth simmered for about 20 minutes. I removed the chicken breasts. They're right here. I'm going to let them cool a little bit before I shred them up. But while that chills, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients, at least most of them. I have 1 small diced onion. You could put celery. It doesn't call for it, but I don't know. I don't think it'd be bad. But we don't have any celery anyway, so let's avoid that one. Now I'm adding a, is it 32 or 24? Let me see. 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I think they asked for 14, but I don't have 14, so we're just going to do what I have. Just going to make more soup, because I added more broth anyway. And I think it's 14 ounces. Everything on dishwithd.com. Diced tomato, I have fire roasted. Juice and all. And a can of diced green chilies, juice and all. Grab a little spatula. Scrape out those cans, because we want all that little bit in there. All right, we're gonna let this one grab my seasonings. I'm gonna bring this to a low simmer. I only should have to simmer for an hour. This was stubborn today. I couldn't get the lid off of this bad boy. I'll put a little bit of water and rinse it out, because I don't need getting cut. There we go. We'll let this simmer on low. And we're going to grab the spices. This is really easy. I'm telling you, this will make a quick weeknight dinner. Here's our spice blend. There's oregano, dried oregano, cumin, chili powder, and cayenne pepper. Again, you can adjust those to your taste. You don't like it? Don't add it. And a nice heaping. Yeah, I like a lot of garlic. Don't judge, it's pre-chopped, I know. I know, I need to get that all. Now, it calls for fresh cilantro, which I have, but I don't want to add it quite yet. I think I'll add it when I put the chicken back in because I don't want it to over wilt and kind of get yucky, but I'm going to add that towards the end. Smells really, really good. And you saw how easy it came together. Literally minutes. I'm just going to shred our chicken. Like I said, let it sit so it's cool to the touch. I just like to break it up. I like very rustic looking soup, not like perfectly diced, because I just like my soup to look like some nice little Mexican lady sat there one day and she just pulled apart her chicken. Because that's how I like it. Nice big chunks. You know, just kind of course, you have to share with your favorite dog. Explain chicken. That's all I like to do. I do that for all of my chicken soups. I love rustic shreds, not like perfectly little diced pieces of chicken. Because I just like it. It's homemade. It needs to look homemade. It shouldn't look like you bought it out of a can. But we did take some liberties on this. So I'm going to shred this chicken. Then once that comes to a boil and simmers for a bit, and that's all nice and tender, we will just add all this back in with the addition of the chopped cilantro. And hey, cook's treat. Right. Pretty self-explanatory. Pretty easy. All right, our soup base has been boiling or simmering for about half an hour. Just going to add the shredded chicken. Right in the pot because it's already cooked. We just want to just heat it through. And a nice big heaping handful of cilantro. And that's it. Let it sit there for a few minutes and warm through. Alrighty, we added our chicken and our chopped cilantro. I just did a heaping handful. And our shredded chicken. Add it to our simmered broth. And this just needs to come to temp. It's pretty much done. Let it sit there and let everything warm through. And there you go. Soup is done. Time for another quick and easy dinner recipe. 3 ingredients, so maybe 4. Some chopped up butternut squash. Chicken sausage of your choice. I'm just using this Belinsky, but you can use any chicken sausage. You can use regular sausage. As long as it's sausage, I think it'll go pair really well. And some fresh kale. We're going to make like a stew. You can even put sweet potatoes in here. I think that would go well, but they're too much. They look too much like the squash. We're just going to stick with squash tonight. We're going to peel it. We're going to dice it. We're going to saute it. And then when it gets tender, we're going to add the chicken sausage because this is fully cooked. Just want to heat it through. And then we're going to add a little bit of chicken stock. And then we're going to add our kale. I thought it sounded really, really, really good. I was thinking about it on the way home because they had this at the farm stand. I thought, what could I do with that with butternuts? I thought, ooh, kind of like, and you could even make it a soup. If you had enough chicken stock, you could even make it a soup. I think it'd make a really great soup too. And if you wanted to bulk it up, you could definitely put some sweet potatoes in there. So I think it's going to be very easy, very satisfying, and very fall inspired. So let's get started. This is easy and quick. First thing is we're going to wash our kale. I took it off the stem. I got all the stemmy pieces off. And I'm going to rinse it in here. I'm going to massage it. Just like they tell you to massage kale because we want to tenderize it. So I'm going to sit here and just play in the water and massage the kale to help soften it a little bit, even though it's going to cook. Of course, we're not having this raw, but you definitely want to help it along by a little bit of tenderizing. So what I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to get that butternut squash peeled, diced, and started sauteing, and then we'll get back to our massage therapy for our kale. There are many different ways to cut a butternut squash. You can microwave it, makes it easier, but I tend to do it this way. Again, do what way it works for you. I take the butternut squash, I cut off each of the ends. Now I'm going to use a vegetable peeler and I'm going to peel it. Then I'm going to slice it down the middle and the seeds are at the bottom. I'm going to pull the seeds out. We'll have 2 halves and we'll just dice it up. You can watch me if you like. All right. I like this peeler for this because I hold it here and I just drag it on. Just like that. That's all you have to do. Go all the way around the butternut squash. Okay, all peeled. I like to use a long knife for this. I just think it makes it a better and easier. Just going to cut it right down the center. Try to be as straight as you can. And it'll go through pretty easily where the seeds are because it's hollow in the middle there, but this will be the thicker part. You actually could cut it this way and then cut it in half. Just depends. That might not be a bad idea. Like I always suggest if you want to go like this. And this way you have a flat surface and you just cut it straight down like that. All right. So it must be easier. See, it's on a flat surface, so you might have an easier time cutting it. Just go like that, straight down. This is where all the meaty is. Beautiful. And here we'll do the same thing, but you'll see it'll be much easier to go through because half of it's hollow. So we're going to scoop out these seeds and we're just going to chop them. Try making the same all the way around, but sometimes, you know, life's not perfect. So I just grab a spoon. Now some people roast these seeds. I can't be bothered. You just go around and you just go like this and you scoop it out as best you can right into the trash. Not on your cutting board like I just did. We have our pan right here, heating up. We're just going to chop and drop. That's it. Remember, cut side down so you want it to rock. And just cut them. That's all. These will soften fairly quickly. One thing about squash, I feel like it cooks pretty fast. So this will be a pretty quick meal. Like that. Okay. We're just going to chop all this up. We'll see how much we want. Like maybe we'll save half. We'll see how much we have when we're through. Because, you know. And like I said, if you want to put a sweet potato, I think that would go really good. I was thinking about it. Give it a little, you know, little extra zinc. But I don't know. This will make it nice and a little point. And very, you could put like even an apple would go good in here. See how that, see, you gotta be on your toes when you're chopping, that's for sure. So I'm gonna chop the rest of this up. I'll let you know how much I used. Sometimes you get a rogue seed. Let me come back. We did use the whole squash, and I'm glad I did because it doesn't look as much as you think it's going to. So we're gonna put the lid on that and just let it saute while we massage our kale. We'll chop our sausage and we'll get to cooking. Like I said, it's going to come together rather quickly once this softens. I forgot to mention onion, but if you watch me, you know there's going to be an onion in pretty much everything I make. So we're just going to put maybe half an onion in here. If you don't like onion, then don't put it in, but you know I like onion. And I may wait to put this in because I think I want it to be somewhat not overdone. I like mine with a little bit of texture. So we'll just have this on the side. I'll probably put it when we put maybe the kale in. I mean, should we put the whole onion in? No, I'll only put half. I mean, if that was making this just for me, I'd put the whole onion in. And let's get our sausage chopped. Like I said, I'm using the Belinsky spinach and garlic. It's what I had. You absolutely could use anything. Purdue. I mean, come on, sausage. These are pretty good in points and bites, so I couldn't go wrong with using this. I'm going to use them all. I'll even see if I just need 4. I'm going to cut them this way and then in half moons, just like that. Only because you get more smaller pieces, it'll make more coverage. And the spinach is going to pair very well with the kale. Dice the rest of this up. When that gets a little bit more tender, we will add the sausage and the onion, and that'll get all nice and caramelized and give its flavor. Then we'll add some chicken broth and the kale. It says very basic. The star of this dish is absolutely the squash and the kale. These are just the co-stars, but you really want the squash and kale to shine. And we may throw an apple in there. I think that would go really good. A little harvest apple, because this is a harvest meal, and why not throw an apple in there? I'm for that. So we'll see when we get to that. Our squash has gotten tender, but it's not fully cooked through. So now I'm going to add my sausage and my onion and let it finish cooking with the squash. I'm going to add the apple. Let's have a Granny Smith. And I'm going to show you my new tool that I got in my Taste of Home subscription box a few months back. I think it was the spring or summer one. It's an apple core. You put it in twist, pull it out, and you dispose. See? I used it once and it worked great, so we're going to see. Watch, because I'm filming it, it's going to work like crap. We'll see. But I thought an apple would go really good in this. Just put it right on top of the stem. And just twist and push. Looking at the bottom yet? Nope. Oh, there we are. Now you pull it out. Look at that. And we just go. And it comes right out. Look at that. Yep. Some tools work great. So going to do this, and we're going to just dice. Well, I'm going to get this little end off here. We're just going to dice it up. Again, you don't have to put this in. I think it just would go really nice with our fall flavors, because I like apple and things. But I'm going to wait to put this in because it might disintegrate now. So, and somebody here, see him? Somebody likes apples, so we have to give Bailey an apple. Yep. So yeah, we're going to wait till after the kale is tender to throw this in, because I still want it to be firm because I like that contrasting texture difference. But again, you could leave this totally out. We're going to let that get a little bit more done. Then we're going to get our chicken broth and put that in there as well. All right. Cup of chicken stock going in the pot. That was barely a cup. I might have to add a little more. I have this veggie stock I may add with a little bit of water, because I think I want a little bit more juice in there. But again, you don't have to. When you have the consistency of the squash you want, that's where I'm at, it's simmered for maybe 6 minutes and it's perfect. I don't want it to be mushy. I want it to have some body. So now is where I'm going to add my kale. I'm just going to shred it in. We haven't really done much seasoning, but we will. I'm going to shred it in. Again, as much as you like. I have about 3 cups of kale, 4 cups, because it's all going to cook down. It's greens. So we're going to get this in there, and then we're just going to let it, then we'll put the apple in at the very last minute. All right, we put about 4 cups of diced, chopped, shredded kale. We'll put the lid on. We're going to let this wilt. I'm hoping that the squash still stays intact, because it is squash. It's not a potato, but it looks really good. Isn't it beautiful? And then we have not add our apples yet. We're going to add that towards the end, because I don't want it to be mushy either. Okay, it was at a slow simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes, just till the kale has wilted. Like I said, my squash is still intact, so I'm going to just add the chopped apples. I did add salt, pepper, and garlic powder. It's really tasty. I tasted the broth. It's so good. I'm just going to add our apples, and we're just probably going to let it sit there for a few. I want the apples to be firm. Again, if you don't like that, then you do you. Or don't even put the apple in. So I'm just going to let this meld together. See how sort of it's stewish. There is broth, but it's not a whole lot. I'm just going to get these apples in there. Like I said, I want the squash to stay intact. But it smells delicious. I think it'd be really good to use maybe like a sage. If you have sage, will go great in here. Poultry seasoning, because it has all those sage and fall flavors in there. You could even slightly, I do mean slightly, grate some nutmeg in there. Not a lot, just a couple little scrapes. I think would go really good. But it's really good. And really, what do I have to count? The sausage and nothing else. I don't think there's anything else. I'll have to go over it again in my head, but I think it's just the sausage. And there it is, the finished stew. I said the apples is something I wanted to put in there, but again, you don't have to. And it smells so fallish, and it tastes delicious. So very light, very delicious, and hey, you could have at this. You could have 2 portions, as my friend Amy says, for very little points. Oh, looks delish. I'm going to taste. Now, I did sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on top. Not even have to worry about. But here it is. Look at that. Smells like fall in a bowl. And I topped it with a little bit of pumpkin seeds. I just felt like it. In my opinion, the apple just makes it. It just pairs so well with the squash and the kale. But like I said, you want to cook your apple down. You want to dice it really tiny. You want to shred it. This is real. It's light, but it's flavorful. And I did throw a little, I did grate a itsy bitsy bit of nutmeg in there because it goes so well with the squash and the kale. So I'm going to go enjoy this. I only have to count the chicken sausage, which I think is either 2 or 3 points each. So if I count 3, if I go max 3 or 4 points for a bowl, delicious. Winner, winner, fall dinner. Well, that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing a few recipes this week. I didn't include these in the vlog to save them for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below if there's something you'd like to try. I'd love to hear about it. Like I said, they're all inspired by me, and one of the soup was inspired by a recipe card that I did get in the mail. And I was going to say something else. Brain fart. Like I said, low in points, low in budget, but high in flavor. So let me know in the comments which one you think you'd like to try first, and I will dish with you another day. I look forward to seeing your recipes. Make sure if you ever make anything that I show you that's original for me, you should tag me, #dishwithd on any social media. I'd love to see it. So I will be dishing with you another day. Enjoy the footage, or you already saw the footage. Have a great rest of your day.